Have you ever felt like you no longer fit into the same conversations, the same places, the same routines, as if something inside you had awakened before you even understood what was happening? If that feeling has been constant, you may be one of the few chosen ones who are activating fifth-dimensional consciousness, even without knowing its name. But before we go further, I need you to understand something crucial. If you are watching this video at this exact moment in your life, that is not a coincidence. There are sacred moments that are predetermined in the blueprint of every soul. And one of those moments is when you realize you are a chosen one. But here is a secret that few people know. Chosen ones are not just selected. They are selected at the exact right time. And if you are hearing these words right now, your time has arrived. This shift does not begin with applause or clarity. It arrives as a deep discomfort, a fatigue that sleep cannot cure, a silent restlessness with no logical explanation. You begin to see life with new eyes. Things that once fulfilled you now feel empty. People who once completed you now feel distant. This is the beginning of the crossing. This is the call that only 1% of the chosen recognize right away. Not because they are better, but because they are ready to remember who they truly are, to align with their essence, to break out of autopilot and live with awareness. It is as if an invisible key had turned within the soul and a new frequency began to vibrate. Fifth-dimensional activation is not a magical event. It is a continuous, silent, and deep process. It involves the body, the mind, the spirit, and relationships. And as challenging as it may seem, you have never been closer to your truth than you are now. Now let me ask you something. Have you been seeing certain numbers repeatedly? Numbers that seem to follow you everywhere you go. If you frequently see 11, 11, 333, 444, 555, or 1212, this is not random. This is the language of the universe speaking directly to your soul. These are not ordinary numbers. These are sacred codes, activation sequences that the divine uses to communicate with those who are awakening. When you see 1111, the activation portal is opening. The veil between dimensions is thin, and your consciousness is being invited to expand. 333 means the ascended masters are walking beside you, guiding your path even when you cannot see them. 444 is a sign that angels are protecting your journey, surrounding you with divine love and support. 555 signals that a major transformation is approaching, that the old structures of your life are about to shift dramatically. And 1212 tells you that you are on the right path, that your spiritual growth is accelerating exactly as it should. I want you to pause for a moment. Which number follows you most frequently? Comment that number right now, and I will decode its specific sacred meaning for your personal journey. This is not numerology in the common sense. This is the direct communication system between your soul and the divine source. Every time you see your number, the universe is confirming that you are exactly where you need to be in your awakening process. So, if something inside you felt this calling, do not ignore it. This is real. This is sacred. Welcome, chosen one. My name is George, and I am here to walk with you on this awakening journey. Let us cross into this new time together with lightness, awareness, and truth. If you felt this message speak to your soul, I invite you. Follow this channel, because here we recognize each other, support each other, and walk side by side. The awakening of fifth-dimensional consciousness has already begun, chosen one. Have you ever had that feeling that something has changed inside you, but you cannot quite explain what it is? as if suddenly the world remained the same, but you no longer belong to it. This may seem confusing, but it is a clear sign. Your consciousness is shifting. You are beginning to awaken to the frequency of the fifth dimension, and that changes everything. What is most curious is that most of the time this change does not begin with joy or clarity. Quite the opposite. The first phase can feel like a collapse. You start to feel that something is wrong with your routine, your habits, even your own thoughts. Your body gives you signs, your mind questions everything, and your soul cries out for something you do not yet know how to name. This discomfort is sacred. It is the beginning of a journey that few recognize, but one that transforms anyone who has the courage to follow. You are not just becoming someone more spiritual. You are changing stations, as if your soul had tuned into a new channel with a higher frequency, while the world around you is still stuck on the old one. And when this tuning begins, everything that no longer vibrates with this new frequency starts to break away. Friendships, patterns, environments, even old dreams. It is not that you have grown cold. It is that your energy is becoming refined. What no longer serves you naturally drifts away. Maybe you have noticed this in your days. Irregular sleep, waking up in the middle of the night with intense thoughts, feeling tired without physical cause. This is not weakness. This is energetic updating. Your soul is integrating a new consciousness, and your body is trying to keep up. The courage to let go. The courage to accept that you are changing. The courage to cross this bridge between the old and the new, even without knowing exactly what is on the other side. This transition is the entry into the fifth dimension, and you are not walking toward it. You are already in it. The fifth dimension is not a place. It is a state of consciousness. It is where you realize that you are not your thoughts, not your pain, not your fears. It is where you begin to live, not by reacting, but by responding. Where peace does not come from the absence of problems, but from the presence of something greater within you. The fifth dimension is the home of your essence. And now that you have started to awaken, there is no turning back. But then again, there is no reason to want to go back. The best is yet to be discovered. But here is something that ancient sacred texts speak about. Something that will help you understand why you feel so different, so alone, so burdened with an invisible mission. In the book of Revelation, and in many mystical traditions, there is mention of 144,000 souls who were chosen to carry the light during the time of great transition. You might be wondering, am I one of them? Let me share with you the signs of the 144,000 so you can recognize yourself. First, you have felt a sense of mission since childhood, but you could never name what it was. Even as a young child, you felt you were here for something important, something beyond the ordinary life you saw around you. Second, you have an ability to sense the energy of other people. You walk into a room and immediately feel what others are feeling, even when they hide it behind smiles. You absorb emotions like a sponge, and this has made life exhausting at times. Third, you are drawn to healing, teaching, or helping others. Whether through formal work or informal conversations, you find yourself naturally in the role of the one who guides, who comforts, who holds space for others to grow. Fourth, you feel a sense of homesickness, but not for any place on earth. You look at the stars and feel a pull, a remembering of somewhere beyond this physical realm. You have always felt like you do not quite belong here, like you are visiting from another dimension. And fifth, you carry a deep fatigue, as if you are bearing an invisible responsibility that others cannot see. You feel older than your years, weighted down by a knowing that transcends your personal experience. If 4 out of 5 of these signs resonate deeply with you, welcome home. Lightworker, you are one of the 144,000, and the number of us who are awakening simultaneously is increasing rapidly. We are being activated together for the great shift that is coming. This is not about ego or superiority. This is about recognizing your role in the divine plan. The 144,000 are not here to escape the world. We are here to transform it from within, to hold the frequency of love when fear tries to dominate, to be the light in the darkness. Now, as you recognize yourself as part of this sacred collective, you need to understand the journey ahead. The activation into fifth dimensional consciousness follows a sacred timeline. This is not random or chaotic. This is divinely orchestrated, following patterns that have been known by mystery schools for thousands of years. The full activation happens over 120 days. Exactly 120 days. This is not arbitrary. It is the length of 3 Mercury retrograde cycles. It is 4 lunar months. It is the sacred gestation period for spiritual rebirth. The journey is divided into 3 phases, and each phase lasts exactly 40 days. 40 days has profound spiritual significance. Noah experienced 40 days and nights of rain. Moses spent 40 days on Mount Sinai. Jesus fasted for 40 days in the wilderness. Buddha meditated under the Bodhi tree for 40 days before enlightenment. 40 days is the period required for deep transformation, for the death of the old self and the birth of the new. The first 40 days is called the dark night. This is where you are right now, if everything feels like it is collapsing. During the first 13 days, confusion reaches its peak. You question everything. Your identity, your purpose, your relationships, your beliefs. Nothing makes sense anymore. The structures you built your life upon seem to crumble. From day 14 to day 27, you enter emotional purging. All the pain you have been carrying, sometimes for lifetimes, rises to the surface. You might cry unexpectedly. You might feel anger that seems to come from nowhere. You might experience grief for losses you cannot name. This is the releasing. Your soul is clearing out everything that does not belong in fifth dimensional frequency. From day 28 to day 40, you reach surrender. You stop fighting the process. You let go of trying to control or understand everything. You simply allow the divine to work through you. The second 40 days is the rebirth. Light begins to pierce through the darkness. This is when awakening truly begins. From day 41 to day 53, you receive your first clear insights. Suddenly, things that confused you for years make perfect sense. You understand why certain relationships ended, why certain doors closed, why you had to walk through certain painful experiences. Divine wisdom downloads into your consciousness. From day 54 to day 67, you feel tangible energy shifts. Your body feels lighter, colors seem brighter. You have moments of profound peace that you have never experienced before. Synchronicities multiply. The universe speaks to you constantly through signs, symbols, and seemingly miraculous coincidences. From day 68 to day 80, your new self begins to emerge. You start to see who you truly are beneath all the conditioning, all the masks, all the false identities you wore to survive in the third dimensional world. The third 40 days is the integration. This is where you learn to live in fifth dimensional consciousness while still being in the physical world. From day 81 to day 93, you begin finding your tribe. Other awakened souls appear in your life as if by magic. These are your soul family. The ones who understand you without explanation, who vibrate at your frequency. From day 94 to 107, you discover your specific spiritual gift. Every chosen one has a unique gift to offer the world. For some, it is healing. For some, it is teaching. For some, it is creating. For some, it is simply being a beacon of peace. Your gift will reveal itself clearly during this window. From day 108 to day 120, you begin living your purpose. Everything you went through, all the pain and confusion, was preparation for this. You step fully into your role as a light worker, as one of the 144,120 days total. Divine timing is not random, so I want you to think about where you are right now. Are you in the dark night, feeling like everything is falling apart? Are you in the rebirth, starting to see the light? Or are you in the integration, learning how to live your purpose? Comment your current phase right now. Day 1 to 40, day 41 to 80, or day 81 to 120. When you claim where you are in the journey, you activate the next phase. This is how sacred acknowledgement works, and I will offer guidance specific to your current phase in the comments. When everything begins to fall apart, chosen one, maybe you are asking yourself, if I am awakening to something greater, why does everything seem to be going wrong? This is one of the most common questions among those crossing the bridge from the third to the fifth dimension. And here is a truth that few talk about: spiritual awakening does not always start with light. Sometimes it starts with chaos. At the beginning of the journey, the sensation is one of loss. Not because you are losing something essential, but because everything that was based on illusion starts to crumble. It is as if your soul is clearing the rubble of who you thought you were to reveal who you truly are. That is why many things that once made sense now feel empty. During this phase, your emotions also become more intense. You may cry out of nowhere, feel anger, and then deep peace. This happens because what was repressed is coming to the surface. It is as if your inner being is saying, we cannot hide anymore. Now it is time to heal. And you know what is most beautiful about this process? Even without fully understanding it, rationally, something in you already knows you are on the right path. Even if it hurts, there is a part of your soul that is at peace because it recognizes the process. It remembers the journey. Many around you might not understand what is happening with you. They may call you different, weird, or even cold. But you do not need to explain yourself. You are changing on the inside, and not everyone is ready to comprehend this transformation. The calling of the fifth dimension is not about escaping reality. It is about seeing reality through the eyes of the soul. It is understanding that the external world is merely a reflection of your inner vibration. And the more you align with the truth of your essence, the more your world transforms as well. You are not alone on this journey. Other chosen ones are also awakening, silently facing inner battles no one sees. But the good news is that after the collapse comes the rebirth, and what is born from fifth dimensional consciousness is lightness, clarity, and freedom. So if everything seems to be falling apart, celebrate. It means the foundation of the old you is being removed so that the true you can emerge. Do not fight the process, trust it. You are just beginning to remember what you came here to do. Your soul already knows the way. When the body and soul change frequency, chosen one, as you awaken to fifth dimensional consciousness, your body begins to respond. This can be confusing, especially when the signs appear unexpectedly. But know this. It is not your body breaking, it is your soul updating everything from within. The fifth dimension is not just a mental or spiritual state, it is also felt in the physical. And as you are crossing an internal portal, everything that you are, body, mind, emotions, and spirit, needs to align with this new energy, and that alignment can be uncomfortable at first. Let us talk about some of the common symptoms of the fifth dimensional transition. not to scare you, but to bring you clarity. You may be waking up frequently in the middle of the night, often between 3 and 4 in the morning. This is not ordinary insomnia. It is your energetic field expanding during a moment of stillness when the mind is more open to spiritual downloads. It is as if the soul uses the silence of the night to deliver instructions, messages, revelations. When you wake at 3:33 specifically, know that the Ascended Masters are working with you directly during these hours. They are helping you release old programming and install new codes of consciousness. Another common symptom is a change in eating habits. Foods that once brought you pleasure may now seem heavy, tasteless, or cause discomfort. You might crave more natural foods, or at times lose your appetite completely. This happens because your body is asking for a cleanse, not just physically, but energetically. It is as if it is saying, I want to support something lighter. Your cells are literally changing their vibration, and dense foods lower your frequency while light. Natural foods support your ascension. Perhaps you have also noticed a heightened sensitivity to environments. The places that once felt pleasant now bring discomfort. Crowds, noise, shallow conversations, all of it may quickly drain you. That is because your energy is more refined, purer. You are now sensing the weight of what once went unnoticed. You can feel when someone is being inauthentic. You can sense the energy of a room before you even see who is in it. This is not a curse. This is a gift. You are developing your spiritual senses, the abilities that will help you navigate fifth-dimensional reality. Chosen one. All of this may feel confusing, but it is a good sign. It is a sign that you are connecting with your essence, that your soul is no longer asleep. It is waking up. And in this awakening, your body is the first messenger. So instead of worrying, embrace it. Listen to what your body is saying. Rest more, drink more water. Stay close to nature. Avoid people and places that drain your energy. Nourish yourself with what feeds you, not just what fills you. Honor this body that is doing deep work on your behalf. This phase is delicate, but also a blessing. You are exchanging the old for something new, something lighter, more aligned, more truthful. What you are feeling is not fragility, it is sensitivity, and sensitivity is strength when guided by awareness. Remember, this is not illness, it is awakening. It is not weakness, it is expansion. Your body is adjusting to live a new reality, and you, chosen one, are ready to hold this light. When relationships and habits no longer make sense, chosen one, when consciousness begins to rise, it is not just the body that changes. Life around you also begins to reorganize. You look at certain situations, people, and habits, and simply feel, this no longer makes sense to me. That feeling is not arrogance, it is growth. You may have noticed that some relationships are fading away. No fights, no major conflicts, just a natural drifting apart before those people seem to understand you, to walk with you. Now, it is as if they are speaking another language. You try to connect, but it feels forced, and then comes the guilt. Am I being ungrateful? Do I think I am better than them? But chosen one, know this. It is simply the frequency shifting. Not everyone is meant to walk the same path as you, and that is okay. Everyone has their own timing. Some will walk with you for a while, others will stay behind, some might even return later. The important thing is to understand that you are not walking away out of pride. You are preserving your energy. The truth is, when you begin to awaken, your eyes open to things that once went unnoticed. Empty conversations, friendships based on appearances, cycles that repeat without purpose. You cannot tolerate them anymore, and that is healthy. It is a sign that you are choosing truth, even if it comes with loneliness. You may feel nostalgic for what you have lost, but that nostalgia is part of grieving an old you that is being left behind. A you that survived, that endured much, that shaped itself to be accepted. But now, you are beginning to truly live, and truly living requires presence. It requires discernment. You no longer say yes to everything. You no longer accept any energy. You no longer force yourself to fit where you do not belong. That is not ego. It is self-respect. Now let me share something that will help you understand this transition even more deeply. Within the 144,000, there are two primary streams of energy. Understanding which stream you belong to will help you navigate your awakening with more grace and less confusion. These are the divine feminine and divine masculine energies. And before you think this is about gender, let me be clear. This is about soul energy, not physical form. Men can carry divine feminine energy. Women can carry divine masculine energy. And some rare souls carry both in perfect balance. If you are a divine feminine chosen one, your intuition is extraordinarily strong. You receive guidance through feelings, through dreams, through sudden knowing that you cannot explain logically. Your emotions run deep. You may cry easily, not because you are weak, but because you feel everything so intensely. You are a natural healer and nurturer. Your mission often involves creating safe spaces for others to heal, holding energy for transformation, bringing beauty and harmony into the world. But your wounding often comes through betrayal and abandonment. You have been hurt by those you trusted deeply, and learning to trust again is part of your journey. If you are a divine masculine chosen one, your vision and logic are powerful. You see the big picture, the strategy, the path forward. You are action-oriented. You learn by doing, by building, by creating tangible results in the physical world. You receive guidance through synchronicities, through signs in the external world, through doors that open or close. Your mission often involves building new structures, protecting those who are vulnerable, leading others toward a better future. But your wounding often comes through failure and criticism. You have been made to feel that you are not good enough, and learning your inherent worth is part of your journey. And then there are the rarest ones, the divine androgynous souls. These are the ancient souls who have lived so many lifetimes that they have mastered both energies. They can be deeply intuitive and powerfully action-oriented. They can nurture and lead. They can feel deeply and think clearly. These souls often feel the most alone because they do not fit into either category completely, but their gift is tremendous. They are the bridges, the ones who can unite the divine feminine and divine masculine, who can show others that we do not have to choose. We can embody both. So which energy stream do you carry? Comment DF for divine feminine, DM for divine masculine, or DA for divine androgynous. Knowing this will help you understand why your mission feels different from others, why certain challenges keep appearing, and what gifts you are meant to develop. Little by little, you begin to attract new people. People who speak your language, who vibrate similarly, who bring peace instead of chaos. These connections are different. Light, deep, truthful. Not because they are perfect, but because they are aligned. And the most beautiful part, you do not need to chase after them. Just remain in your truth. What is real will always find its way to you, chosen one. This stage is one of the most challenging, but also one of the most sacred. Letting go is part of the process, and with every cycle that ends, a new space is created. a space where only what vibrates love, truth, and light can enter. Trust. You are clearing the ground so the connections of your new reality can bloom. Keep going. How the fifth dimension alters your perception of reality, chosen one. Have you ever felt like time is acting strangely, as if the days are going by too quickly, or as if certain moments last an eternity? Maybe you have lost track of the days of the week, or feel that the clock no longer dictates your internal rhythm. This is not carelessness. It is a symptom of transition. As you enter the frequency of the fifth dimension, your perception of time begins to shift, and deeply. This happens because in fifth dimensional consciousness, time is no longer linear like it is in the third dimension. It becomes more flexible, more fluid. You begin to live more in the present and less trapped in the past or anxious about the future. In the old consciousness, everything was done in a rush. Life was measured in goals, schedules, deadlines, and pressure. But now something within you wants to slow down. It wants to live with more presence. You no longer want to run, you want to feel. And that changes everything. In the fifth dimension, you learn to trust the intuition of the moment more than rigid plans. Not because you are disorganized, but because you understand that the soul has its own rhythm. And when you follow that rhythm, everything starts to fall into place, more gently, more coherently, more synchronously. The so-called coincidences become common. You think of someone, and they call. You ask for an answer in prayer, and it arrives in a stranger's sentence. You feel drawn to go somewhere and bump into someone you needed to see. This is not chance, it is alignment. In this new consciousness, time ceases to be a tyrant and becomes an ally. You stop worrying about when things will happen, and you begin to ask, what can I learn from this now? This shift lifts a huge weight from your shoulders because you understand that each moment has its purpose. There is no such thing as wasted time. There is only time lived with or without awareness. And now, you are learning to live with awareness. You no longer need to control everything. You just need to align yourself with the flow of divine timing and trust that what is meant for you will arrive. At the right time, in the right way, with the right energy, chosen one. When you notice that your relationship with time is changing, celebrate it. This is another sign that you are leaving the logic of scarcity and entering the frequency of abundance, because when you live in the present, everything you need is already there, and what is not there, the universe is preparing. In the meantime, breathe deeply, observe the signs, and keep trusting. You are exactly where you need to be when energy speaks before words. Chosen one, have you noticed that your body has been speaking more intensely lately? Strange sensations, sudden chills, heat at the crown of the head, unexplained tingling, changes in appetite, and even shifts in sleep. All of this may seem confusing, but it is not illness. It is energetic transformation. As your consciousness awakens to the fifth dimension, your body must adapt to hold this new frequency. And this does not happen only in the spiritual realm. It happens in your cells, your nerves, your bones. Your body is being adjusted, recalibrated, updated. It is becoming a more sensitive, purer, more connected channel. Before you were living in survival mode, alert, tired, reactive. Now, even without realizing it, your energy system is being reorganized to operate in presence, peace, and intuition. But this transition, like any system update, can bring temporary instability. Maybe you feel more sensitive to your environment. Places that once felt normal now drain you. Loud sounds bother you. Certain foods feel too heavy. You start to notice what your body tolerates and what it rejects. This is not fussiness. It is energetic discernment. Do not be alarmed by this. On the contrary, be gentle with yourself. When you feel the need to rest, rest without guilt. When you feel the need to walk, stretch, eat better, or even fast, follow that inner guidance. Your body is a messenger of the spirit, and now it is being adjusted to carry more light. This also explains why you might be more emotional, crying for no reason, laughing in relief, having vivid or symbolic dreams. The body is processing what the mind cannot handle. And the more you accept it, the lighter the process becomes. True spirituality does not ignore the body. It honors it. Your body is the temple where consciousness manifests, and therefore it must also be cared for, loved and respected, not as a burden, but as an ally in the journey. If you feel strange pains that come and go, sudden dizziness, a desire for silence, changes in your cycle or appetite, all of this may be connected to the activation of your energetic field. And the more you align with peace, the more these symptoms stabilize. Chosen one, your body is awakening with you. It is not an obstacle. It is the path. And little by little, you will notice that it becomes your greatest guide, because truth always manifests first in the body, even before it reaches the mind. Respect your rhythm. Embrace your sensitivity. What seems strange now will be clarity tomorrow. You are being prepared to hold more light, more love, more truth. Trust the process. Your body knows the way, remembering who you are and living fifth-dimensional consciousness. Chosen one. If you have come this far, it is because something inside you already knows. You are no longer just seeking answers. You are recognizing truths that already lived in your spirit, just waiting for the right moment to awaken. And that moment has arrived. The journey toward fifth-dimensional consciousness is not a destination. It is a remembering. It is a return to your inner home. A place where your essence can finally breathe, without needing to hide behind masks, fears, or the expectations of others. Maybe you have been feeling different, more sensitive, more reflective, more selective about what you consume, who you connect with, where you step. This is not isolation. It is energetic discernment. You are listening to the voice of your soul, and it is guiding you with firmness and love. Fifth-dimensional consciousness is not some unattainable state of perfection. It is presence. It is truth. It is lightness in the midst of chaos. It is that moment when you stop reacting to life and begin to respond with awareness. When you start seeing beyond appearances, feeling what is real, even if the eyes cannot yet see it. You do not need to know everything. You just need to keep listening, feeling, following. Each step you take, even uncertain, is being guided by a divine intelligence that operates through your intuition. And that is the true compass of fifth-dimensional living, feeling before knowing, loving before understanding, trusting before seeing. The world out there may seem out of sync. People may remain trapped in cycles of fear, control, competition, and scarcity. But you, chosen one, were called to live differently, to vibrate in compassion, authenticity, and presence, and in doing so, to be light, not through words, but through example. The fifth dimension is where the ego begins to serve the soul, where action is born from consciousness, not from haste, where love is no longer a craving, but an expression of your inner state, where you stop seeking validation and begin living in truth. And yes, you can live this reality here, now, in this world, in the body you have, in the life you have. The transition does not require you to flee to the top of a mountain. It begins in the silence of your breath, in the intention behind your choices, in the peace you cultivate, even when no one is watching. Chosen one, your presence is part of the divine plan. When you align with the truth of your soul, the entire field around you transforms. Every small healing you allow also heals the collective. Your awakening is not just about you. It is about all of us. Now, I want to share with you a sacred practice that will accelerate your activation. This is not just words to read. This is a spiritual technology that has been used by mystics and masters for thousands of years. When you are ready to fully activate into fifth dimensional consciousness, I invite you to speak this sacred declaration 3 times every morning. For 7 consecutive days, find a quiet space, light a candle if you can. Place your hand on your heart and speak these words with full presence and intention. I am, speak your name, a chosen one of divine source. I acknowledge my awakening. I accept the sacred mission of my soul. I release all that does not serve my highest good. I open my heart space to divine wisdom. I align with fifth dimensional consciousness. I am ready to serve the light. Thank you, Divine Source, for your guidance. Thank you, Spirit Guides, for your protection. Thank you, Higher Self, for leading the way. And so it is. Amen. Aho. Namaste. After 7 days of speaking this declaration, you will receive 3 confirmations. Within 72 hours, you will receive a clear sign from the universe. This might be an unexpected message, a sudden opportunity, or a synchronicity so obvious you cannot deny it. Within 1 week, a person will appear to guide you. This might be someone new or someone you already know who suddenly says exactly what you needed to hear. Within 2 weeks, an opportunity aligned with your mission will present itself. This might be a job offer, a creative project, or an invitation to serve in some way. I want you to comment "activated" right now if you commit to doing this 7-day practice. And those of you who commit and follow through, I ask you to return to this video after 7 days and share the sign you received in the comments. The universe always responds to sincere commitment. When we claim our awakening together, the entire field shifts. Your activation supports my activation, supports everyone's activation. This is how the 144,000 rise together. But there is one more thing I need you to know. Chosen one. The universe wants to confirm everything I have shared with you today. If all of this is true, if you are truly one of the chosen ones, if your awakening is real and divinely orchestrated, then the universe will send you a sign within the next 24 hours. Not someday, not eventually. Within 24 hours from this moment, watch for these specific confirmations. You will see a white bird, whether in the physical world, or in an image, or a video. Someone will mention the word angel or divine in conversation with you, completely unprompted. You will find a coin or a feather in an unexpected place. A song with a message meant specifically for you will play at the perfect moment. Or you will encounter a person wearing purple or indigo, the colors of the crown chakra and spiritual awakening. If you receive one of these signs within 24 hours, I want you to come back to this video, comment confirmed, and share which sign you received. This is not just for you. This is for everyone who is doubting, everyone who is questioning whether this is real. When thousands of chosen ones confirm that the universe responded, it becomes undeniable proof. Set a timer right now, 24 hours. Let us see what the universe shows us. Let us witness together how the divine communicates with those who are awakening. So breathe. Embrace everything you have been. Honor everything you have overcome. And above all, remember, you are not alone. There is a network of awakened souls, like you, who are vibrating, feeling, transforming the world from the inside out. The fifth dimension is your home, and you are already here. This is not just a channel. This is a sacred circle. Lightworkers should not walk alone. Every week, we gather here to share signs and synchronicities, to decode messages from the universe, to support each other's journey, and to prepare for the great shift that is coming. If you subscribe to this channel right now, you will receive weekly fifth dimensional activation meditations every Sunday, moon phase guidance, during every new moon and full moon, personal sacred number decoding in the comments, and sacred circle prayers every Friday evening. This is not entertainment, this is spiritual community. When you click subscribe, you are joining the 144,000. When you turn on the notification bell, you are saying you are ready for divine downloads. We are in the final period of preparation. The Great Awakening is here, and you have been called to be part of it. Getting here was not by chance. If you have read every word, if something inside you was touched, it is because your soul already knew. It knew this content was not just information. It was a reminder, a calling, a silent confirmation that you are on the path, even if that path sometimes feels invisible to the eyes. The journey of awakening is not easy. It demands detachment, courage, and a faith that cannot always be explained. But every symptom, every sign, every transformation you have felt until now is part of something greater. Your soul is emerging, and the most beautiful part is that you do not need to understand everything with your mind, because your soul already understands. In the fifth dimension, life becomes lighter, not because the challenges disappear, but because you begin responding to life with awareness. You learn to trust your intuition, to rest in silence, to realize that peace is not in what happens outside, but in what vibrates within. And when that happens, you are no longer just existing, you are living in alignment. This is the beginning of a new life. A life where you honor your body, respect your timing, choose with more presence, feel with more depth. A life where you stop being a prisoner of others' expectations and become the guardian of your own light. And that light, even if small, is already beginning to illuminate others around you. Chosen one, your journey is unique, but not solitary. There is an invisible network of awakened beings like you spread across the world, feeling, transforming, vibrating in silence. Together, we are co-creating a new reality, more human, more conscious, more loving. And if you have made it this far, know this: you are an essential part of it. Now I want to hear from you. What touched you most in this message? Which sacred number follows you? Which phase of the 120-day journey are you in? Are you divine feminine, divine masculine, or divine androgynous? Share in the comments. Your sharing could light the path for other chosen ones who are just beginning to awaken together. We rise together, we remember together, we transform this world through the power of fifth dimensional consciousness. Welcome home, chosen one. The real journey begins now.